urges members of the Board of Internal Revenue to work towards achieving the state government target. Anambra State government asked youth leaders to form a waste management task force in communities. Federal government begins online registration of medical laboratories in Nigeria. And on the foreign scene, 2 United States Army helicopters crashed during training. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. Welcome to the news at 7. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has inaugurated the members of the Anambra State Board of Internal Revenue Service. The board has Mr. Richard Madiebo as chairman, Dr. Greg Ezilo, Dr. Christian Madbuko, and Mr. Benjamin Okafo as executive directors, representing Anambra South, North, and Central, respectively. Government House correspondent Valentine Mbadoa has details.
Members of the board are the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Mrs. Chiamaka Nnake, Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Ifatu Onejeme, Commissioner for Lands, Professor Alphonse Amuchazi, and Commissioner for Transport, Mrs. Patricia Igwebike, performing the function at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia. Governor Soludo rolled out their terms of reference to include providing general policy guidelines regarding the functions of the State Internal Revenue Service and supervising implementation of such policies, ensuring the effective and optimum collection of all revenues, including levies and penalties due to the state government under the relevant federal and state laws. Governor Soludo said that the board will be accounting for all amounts so collected in a manner to be prescribed by the governor, controlling the management of the State Internal Revenue Service on matters of policy, subject to the provisions of any regulation setting up the State Internal Revenue Service, among others. The governor charged them to swing into action to meet the expectations, adding that the board will be reviewed every 3 months. Noting that Anambra cannot wait to have a sustainable development, Governor Soludo emphasized that the Board of Internal Revenue Service is critical to the agenda of achieving a livable and prosperous Anambra State.
I would like to hear from you, probably after your own meeting, to let me know what we must do to support you to succeed, so that whatever we receive from Anambra will then go into our capital spending. That's the kind of thing we're expecting to happen, because that is what is going on in several states. Your IGR should be able to pay for your recurrent, and those recurrent, it might include debt service payment plus personnel and all the other overheads and so on.
The Secretary to the State Government, Professor Solo Chukwulobelo, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezajui, the MD of Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra, Mr. Celestine Anere, attended the event. From the Governor's Lodge, Amobia, Valentine Mbadoa reporting for ABS News.
The Deputy Governor for Anambra State, Dr. Onyekachukwu Ibezim, has directed market leaders across the state to embrace government initiatives towards ensuring sustained cleanliness in the various markets. The Deputy Governor, who is the Chairman, Clean, Green and Sustainable Anambra State Executive Committee, gave the directive during a meeting with market leaders across the state at the Government House, Oka. Government House correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo's report is taken from our studio.
The governor, who expressed dissatisfaction with the indifferent attitude towards the environment by traders in the state, who use wastes generated from their daily activities in the market to block waterways and other illegal dump sites, said that such attitude will no longer be tolerated by the present administration as it militates against the clean, green, sustained and prosperous Anambra target. Dr. Ibezim asked the market leaders to make laws to sustain culture of cleanliness in their various markets after the inauguration of Clean, Green and Sustainable Anambra project this weekend, as government will not take it lightly with any market leader that fails to partner it in the actualization of the target of being the most clean state.
Now the market leadership must ensure over the underlying farmer measure that time. No, we are strong on this. The governor says this is very, very serious.
On his part, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezajoy, reminded the market leaders of the need to work with the state government, both in the cleanliness project and in payment of taxes, disclosing that the state government will come up with stiffer measures against tax in markets across the state from April.
You are part of this government. We charge you in your local environment, your local leadership, to do just what we are doing. And that is why we are very optimistic that Anambra.
In a remark, the chairman, Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board, Barrister Chike Madehwe, encouraged the market leaders to always partner the state government in development around the markets, noting that the state government, through its office, will not allow any form of illegal structures in the markets, other parts of the state. Speaking on behalf of others, the President General, Anambra State Markets Amalgamated Traders Association, Chief Humphrey Awuna, thanked the Soludo administration for its support to them and assured that the market leaders will work with the government to achieve its vision and plans for the state.
The second week of a month, we have to clean up. Our data plan. We have been doing that. Phone and phone
The event provided the market leaders the opportunity to make suggestions and ask questions on how best to make the markets better.
Meanwhile, Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Dr. Onyeka Chikwu has asked youth leaders in the state to form a waste management task force in their various communities as a way to assist the Soludo government in actualizing the targeted, mis-cleaned and healthy state. Deputy Governor Ibezim gave the mandate during a meeting with youth leaders from across the state at the Government House, Oka. Government House correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
Dr. Bezink, who described the youths as the backbone of every society, said that the Professor Chukwuma Soludo administration will keep partnering them for all-round progress and development of the state. Deputy Governor Bezim asked the youth leaders to devise means of ensuring that people in their communities imbibe the culture of cleanliness, even as he mandated them to monitor the activities of the incoming task force teams to avoid excesses and abuse of power. He called on the entire state's residents to see the achievement of the Clean, Green and Sustainable Anambra project as a collective responsibility, as it is for the good of all, stressing that a clean nation is a healthy nation.
So I know it will take us time to go back. And I am making all of us here disciples of clean, green, and sustainable Anambra.
In a remark, the president of Anambra State Association of Town Union Youth Wing, Comrade Ken Okoye, adjudged the Clean, Green and Sustainable Anambra initiative as a laudable one, assuring that leaders will work with other youths in their various communities to deliver and sustain the project, even as he pledged the unflinching support of the Anambra youths to the Professor Soludo's government.
It is part of our civic duty. We are not doing it for anybody. A clean environment is very habitable and is cool for everybody to live in. Everybody wants a good thing, but you have to make a little sacrifice to make it happen.
During the meeting, the youth leaders, including that of Amansi community in Oka North local government area, Mr. Benedict Chinze, and his Nnewi North counterpart, Mr. Paul Moneke, made suggestions on how best to achieve the targeted results at the community level. From Government House in Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
Leadership of the Anambra State Road Traffic Management Agency has been called upon to monitor activities of the officials on roads across the state to ensure strict adherence to mandate given to the agency by the state government. The president of Anambra State Association of Town Unions, Barrister Titus Abudo, made the call while speaking to the journalists shortly after the union's meeting with the Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Dr. Onyeka Chikwu at the Government House, Oka. Again, Government House correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo's report is taken from here.
Barrister Akpudo, who complained bitterly on the excesses of some of the Anambra State Road Traffic Management Agency officials on the state's road, alleged that they sometimes intimidate and extort road users, an act he said brings bad name to the state government who instituted the agency to ensure free flow of traffic on the state roads. He appealed to the state government to allow the Anambra State Association of Town Union to form a committee that will help in monitoring the activities of the Anambra State Road Traffic Management Agency officials on the roads in the interest of the state's residents and the government. Barrister Akpudo commended Soludo-led administration for identifying Anambra State Association of Town Unions as one of the key partners in the efforts towards the actualization of the lofty vision for the state.
There should be a clear-cut directive on what they should do. The states need to monitor their activities. I also apply to the states. Let the state grant us the permission to also form a monitoring team, the team that will monitor the activities of these men on the road and give report to the state. People are complaining, people are crying.
On his part, the President General of Umunya Community, Chief Innocent Nwabweze, stressed the need for all Ndi Anambra to combine efforts with the Governor Soludo-led administration to make the state great.
The federal government has begun an online registration of medical laboratories in Nigeria to enhance service delivery. Dr. Tosan Erabo, the Registrar of the Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria, MLSCN, met this noon in Abuja at a meeting with stakeholders and the agency's consultants on automation led by Professor Effiong Abem of the University of Calabar. He called on stakeholders to avail themselves of the great opportunities offered by the new framework to enhance service delivery. Erabo said that the registration will scale up efficiency, effectiveness, transparency, and speed of service delivery, as well as data collection and management. The plans of raising 1,000 youth millionaires on creating 130,000 private sector jobs annually by the Soludo-led administration has continued to wax strong as the state, through the Ministry of Youth Development, conclude training of Entrepreneurship Development Institute in Awka. The Entrepreneurship Development Institute are those who will champion the entrepreneurial stage of the One Youth, Two Skills entrepreneurship scheme to ensure the purpose of the initiative is maximized. Valentine Mbadola has details.
Two-day training was organized by the State Ministry of Youth Development in partnership with Unizik Business School. The training, which witnessed series of lectures and interactive sessions, climaxed with presentation of certificates to the Entrepreneurship Development Institutes who successfully complete the training by the Unizik Business School to affirm that they are qualified to carry out the task as expected. The State Commissioner for Youth Development, Mr. Patrick Ayamba, and the Deputy Director, Unizik Business School, Professor Chinedu Onyizube, who jointly performed the function, charged them to carry out their assignment with sense of responsibility, which they said is very critical in achieving the objective of the One Youth, Two Skills initiative. They tasked them to make the Governor Soludo's agenda of creating 130,000 private sector jobs and 1,000 youth millionaires annually a reality.
If you look at methodology in carrying out plans in executing this agenda, you can bear with us that Mr. Governor meant the business of youth development. Mr. Governor is looking for not just providing jobs, but quality jobs.
On behalf of the university, having successfully completed the program, the two-day workshop, we are giving them certificate of what? Participation. They can now go into the world and make our youth billionaires and millionaires.
Some of the participants, including Ekong Nancy of the Industrial Training Fund and the chairman, Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprise, NASME, Mr. Chinemerem Ogwebe, assured to put in their best and thanked Governor Chukwuma Soludo for paying much attention on youth development and also the organizers of the training for doing a great job. They expressed hope that the One Youth, Two Skills entrepreneurship scheme will transcend into a massive project that will redefine the economy of Anambra State and beyond.
We also want to thank the organizers of this program. It's been a very wonderful and impactful program.
In Oka, Valentine Bado reporting for ABS News.
And on the foreign scene, 2 United States Army Black Hawk helicopters crashed in Kentucky during a training mission, resulting in several casualties, officials said. The helicopters from the 101st Airborne Division crashed in Kentucky's Street County, northwest of the Fort Campbell, the Army base said in statement. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear had said earlier that fatalities were expected. He said Kentucky police and emergency management were responding. Over now to sports. Anthony Joshua has laughed at Jermaine Franklin's threat of a knockout on Saturday and insisted this is the worst time to face him. The former heavyweight champion will make his long-awaited return to the ring this weekend at the O2 Arena, but for the first time since 2015, no world title is on the line. Joshua is looking to bounce back following consecutive defeats by Alexander Usyk, and he faced his American opponent on Wednesday afternoon at a press conference in Portland Square. Remember that you can follow ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television Oka. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Oka. Follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points again. Governor Soludo has urged the members of the Board of Internal Revenue to work towards achieving the state government target. Anambra State government has asked the youth leaders to form a waste management task force in communities. Federal government has begun online registration of medical laboratories in Nigeria. And on the foreign scene, we also told you that 2 United States Army helicopters have crashed during training. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround, maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's it on the news at 7. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Chidimma Orangwa. Good morning.